So we're going to start looking at the symbol tools and how they can help us when we create our own symbols. I'm going to create a new symbol from this fish just by dragging it into the symbols panel, and we'll call it fish symbol. So just type in fish and click OK. We're going to lock the other layers, and I'm going to switch off my fish now I've created a symbol from it. And I'm going to select the bubble layer. And what we're going to do is just select our symbol sprayer and spray a few fish in there, okay, using our symbol sprayer tool. Now, if you click and hold on the symbol sprayer, you can tear it off by clicking on this edge here. And you can have this palette floating above your artwork, making it easy to access the tools in it. Now, there's all sorts of tools in here. We have the symbol shifter tool, which allows you just to shift symbols around. So once I've sprayed them, I might want to just reposition some of them slightly. And you'll notice that it repositions the ones that I'm clicking on. If I make that brush a lot bigger, it would shift them all. So you can select groups based on the size of your brush. If I make the brush small, I can just pretty much do them individually, which gives me a lot of scope. Now, if I select this one, it scrunches them together or moves them apart, depending on how I click. If I click with nothing held down, it will scrunch them all together and bring them all together so they're more tightly packed. If I'm to hold down the Alt key as I do it, it will reverse the action and spread them all out. So I can create a little bit more space between my fish if I need to. And then, of course, I can go back and reposition things a little bit if that's adjusted it too much. So a lot of control over the symbols using that. I then have a symbol sizer, so I can make them bigger or smaller if I hold down the Alt key. So I can start to make the ones at the top look as if they're a bit further away, and maybe the ones at the bottom look like they're a bit bigger. So we can start to create more variation in size and give us more of a feeling of depth. And again, you can make the brush smaller so that you're only affecting one at a time if you really want to make one fish bigger than the others. We also have rotate, so I can rotate fish around. And you'll notice that as I click on rotate, I get a little arrow, and that indicates by how much it's going to rotate. So you can get a little idea by looking at the arrow how much you're going to rotate it by before you click. So I don't want to rotate that by much, so just a little bit, some of them facing upwards instead of downwards. And we can just go through and create a different direction. Now, if I was to make my brush bigger, of course, that would have more of an effect on more fish, so I can start to rotate groups of them around and start getting it looking like there's some kind of flock behaviour going on as they're following each other. We can also colourize fish. So if I was to go up here and choose a colour from my colour panel, so say we choose purple, and then click on the fish, I can start to colourize them purple, and the more I click, the more strong the colour will become. So I can start to tint them with different colours, and that creates some really nice effects. Now if I hold down Alt, that will go back to the original colour. So creating a variety of colours. And these tools, if you double click on them, you can also adjust the options. So if I want that to be more intense colour, I could assign that to, say, my pressure of my pen or something like that, or I could just give it an overall intensity. If I put it up something quite high and click OK, then as I click, I get a much stronger colour. So I just click once to get full colour. And then we have this one, which is the screener tool. If I want to make them look slightly semi-transparent, I can click on that and we get semi-transparent fish. So it blends the fish together. And again, double click on these tools to have options for each of them. And then we have this one, the styler tool. So if I click on this button here and then go into my graphic styles panel, I could select a graphic style. Now that I can load some, but I'm just going to select this one. And then I can apply graphic styles to them. Now that's going to take a little bit of time because obviously a graphic style can contain quite a complex appearance. But if you want to, you can assign graphic styles to your symbols as well. So a really powerful tool, the symbol sprayer and the other associated symbol tools. If we have a look here we've got a nice shoal of fish sort of blending off towards the bottom. Now, we could use that on our mosquitoes as well, so let's open those. So here's my mosquito scene with my little man in it, and if I want to start playing around with these mosquitoes, I can select my symbol tools again, strip them out, and then I'm going to choose, first of all, let's adjust the size. So I'm going to select my symbol tool. Now select the layer that I want to work on, and then select the symbols that I want to adjust, and then just click on them. Now if you've got more than one symbol in an image, you need to select which symbols before you start to adjust them with the symbol tools. So what I'm going to do is just bring them down in size, just drag over them to generally bring my symbols down in size. Okay, so it's quite nice just being able to drag over like this and size them all down as a group. And maybe make some smaller than others, so we'll just click and hold on a few of them. Maybe the ones at the top will make a lot smaller. Okay, and the next thing I want to do is kind of vary the rotation of them. At the moment they're all rotating by around about the same amount. So I'm going to open up my rotation options and rotate a few of them around a little bit, so that they're all flying in opposite directions. Okay, and let's pull some of them that way. Okay, now really with this scene, what I would want to do is go through individually adjusting these, so take a little bit more time over it, but you get the idea of how it works. We'd also shift some of them as well. There's a few too many near his face, so I can just move them away from his face a little bit using the shifter tool. And then, of course, I would go and adjust the ones on the midground as well. So have a little bit of fun playing with the symbol tool and the symbol sprayer and all the other tools that are available in the symbols set. And see what you can come up with in terms of using symbols within your own graphic designs for repeated elements to save you time and help you be more creative. It's almost like having a particle system for Illustrator. So think about things that you could use to create particles with. So you could use it for things like raindrops or snowflakes or anything that's repeating. Symbols are excellent for. Starry skies is another one. Use it to create a starry sky and place some stars randomly throughout the sky. So have a play and enjoy symbols.